Give you a little tutorial on tickets. Now, we all use them in our journals, right, in all our projects. They're really fun and easy, and you can decorate them in so many different ways. And here are some of my examples. Here I have a little fashion one, a little Valentine one. I've used vellum on this one, and some vintage style looking ones. And here's the Halloween one, which is my favorite. This one I added little buttons and just layers of paper, and I think that one just came out really great. And here's a little vintage Christmas one, which I'll be adding in my vintage book this year that I'm working on. So I thought I would show you how I do these. Nice quick little project for you. So my tickets, width-wise, I do them in 3 different sizes. I do them in 1 inch. Okay, that's this one. 1.5 inch, and then these are 2 inch. Okay, my favorite is the 2 inch. All right, but depending on what you're going to put them in, will determine the width of your tickets. So if you're putting them in, let's say, a journal about this size, you probably want to go with one of the wider ones. If you want to put them in a mini journal, say like this, you probably want to go with the 1 inch. Okay, you see, because the 2 inch, you know, you could do it, but you know, it just gives a whole different look on what you're going to do. All right, so just keep that in mind when you're making them. So I am going to show you today, we're going to go for the 1.5 inch width. All right, but the same applies to all of them. So what you're going to do, I start off with a piece of 12 by 12. All right, and then I will just cut down the width that I want for the whole sheet. All right, and all of these here are done with 12 by 12s. Okay, you want to go smaller, but this is a good place to start. Remember, you can always cut it down after. So after I cut my piece, now I like to use 2-sided paper, but use what you want, right? Okay, so we want to score at 2 inches. All right, that's going to give us our little sections where we fold. So you're just going to start and go 2. All right, and I do move the new line over. You can go across, you know, go 2, 4, 6 and keep going. But I found that it doesn't always line up perfectly doing that. So this is how I do it. If you want to go the other way, go right ahead. All right, but this doesn't take long, so to move it over, not a big deal. Now you are going to have a little bit left over, right? Because our 12 by 12s aren't perfect. Okay. And that is our ticket. Now, so what you want to do is now we're going to fold. Just make sure everything's lined up. And what we want to do next is to make our little holes here, okay? And all you're going to use with that is your hole punch. And you're going to go, I'll show it, I think on the darker side it'll show up better for you. You're just going to go ahead and punch just half a circle, okay? And you're going to do this on each crease and just go around. And flip it around. Now this is a great project to do if you're, you know, watching a movie, just relaxing. You could sit and make a ton of these, right? Okay, now I'm going to go in the corner and just do a little notch in there, okay? And then I'm going to do the other one, and then that's it. And your ticket is now ready for decorating. Now, if you want to accentuate the folds, you're just going to take your distressing ink, your stamp pad, whatever you use to do that effect. Okay, I'm going to use this one. I think it's burgundy, but it'll work. So I just take it and run it right over. And remember, you're going to cover this up with designs and stuff, so, you know, if it gets a little bit on the side, that's okay, right? I like this color because I'm going to start doing Halloween stuff, and this is going to look really good. Okay, And you're just going to go very loosely, get your corners, if this is the effect that you want. Now you can do it, bend it like that, and go across. All right, so however you want to do it. And I'm only doing it on this side because the other side, you're not going to see anything, see? Unless, if you do have darker paper, which what I did here, I'll show you. Oops. I use a silver Posca pen. Actually, it's top notch. This brand I really like. And it's a paint pen. All right. And it gives you the silver effect on the dark paper. I tend to like the darker papers. A lot of my light papers I darken with stamps and stuff. So that's it. So that is how you do a ticket. Very easy. Make a bunch of them, decorate, and you'll be good to go. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.